Hey, how are you all? Welcome to our channel, My TSPSC Preparation. Today is our last day for the Ikshvaku dynasty. There were 3 parts of Ikshvakus, 3 lessons. So, the videos of 2 days you can visit in my History of Telangana playlist. Today is the last day for Ikshvakus. In this chapter we are going to look into the political conditions of those period and the cultural development, social conditions during that period. Many of this has been covered in the hierarchy while we were going through in our previous class. So just quick recap, and in additional points whatever is new we are going to see today, right? So today you are going to understand these 3 categories. What are it? Political conditions, cultural development, and the social conditions. Let's move forward. Looking into the political conditions, we have seen that Ikshvakus, they have been ruling the south of Telangana, which is Mehboob-nagar, Khammam and Nalgonda, right? So including Ikshvakus, like in parallel to Ikshvakus, what are the other small dynasty? Ikshvakus are mainly famous for arranging marriages and then establishing the relation. So same way, there have been small dynasties. The first dynasty is Pugya. You know who is Pugya family? There was one Pugya family member who got married to Shantishri, who is the sister of the founder of this dynasty, right? So this Pugyas, you see where they are located. They were located in the Tamil Nadu region. And where were Ikshvakus located? Somewhere here, right? At this part we had Ikshvakus. So Pugyas were one dynasty which was very famous during Ikshvakus time. Not only this, there were few other dynasties ruling. That would be Pallavas and Cholas. These Pallavas and Cholas, they always were in this area only, guys. So they did not move beyond this. They moved also, but they did not gain much of importance. But when they were ruling during this part, they had much scope for themselves. So the region where Pugyas were ruling, it was Pogiprolu, right? So Pogiprolu, I am showing you the picture, right? So this is Pogiprolu, which is present in Tamil Nadu, and this region was called as Pakanadu during Pallava time. Pallavas were also ruling at this point, I told you, right, just now. So at that period it was called as Pakanadu. Apart from Pugyas, what is the other dynasty? Is Hiranyakas dynasty. Hiranyakas dynasty is actually known to be a Chalukya family of Chalukyas. Earlier it was Hiranyakas dynasty. Slowly when they gained importance and they founded themselves, they established themselves very strongly, they got to be known as Chalukyas dynasty. This Hiranyakas Chalukya family only, they are called as today's Chalukyas dynasty, right? So where did Hiranyakas rule during that time? Is Gittarulu in Prakasham district, Nandyala in Kurnool district and Kadapa district. Yes, you don't have to remember all these names like Gittarulu, Nandyala and Kadapa. Just have a visibility or have a scope that, okay, if this part has been ruled by Ikshvakus, the below areas has been ruled by few other dynasties, and just below, you see, it is near Nallamalla forest. So it is Prakasham district, Kurnool district and Kadapa district, which is in Andhra Pradesh, right? This part is Andhra Pradesh. Here you see this part is Andhra Pradesh, right? So Hiranyakas and Pugyas were the dynasties ruling in parallel with Ikshvakus. Let me erase this off. Apart from these 2 dynasties, we had other 2 dynasties, that is Dhanaka and Kulahaka. What is it? Dhanaka and Kulahaka. But the regions which all they have ruled, it is not precisely known. We don't know what all they have ruled. So what we can say is Ikshvakus, that is Santamula, who is the founder of Ikshvakus, he actually maintained good relationship with Pugiyas, Hiranyakas, and then Dhanakas, Kulahaka, and he expanded his kingdom. So during this ruling time of Ikshvakus, I told you, right, Santamala was given the title Mahadanapati. Okay, so he being a Mahadanapati, he used to donate a lot of cows, silver coins, right? So cows mainly, where does it help us in? Agriculture. So we can say that agriculture was doing very well during Ikshvakus. Not only that, the sisters of Santamala, they gave much importance to Buddhism. So Buddhism was very in vogue during that time. Nagarjuna Konda was one such place. They were residing in Nagarjuna Konda, right? So in Nagarjuna Konda, this became very famous, and not only regular students of local area were coming, but also foreigners also, they came and they started learning. It became a famous educational institution. This is not only at national level but international level, the whole continent, Asia level, it became very famous, and foreigners came here to come and study. Once again, you see, where is Nagarjuna Konda? It is in Guntur district, right? So this is in Guntur district. Now let's look into the cultural activities of that time. You see, main thing is Buddhism. They focused completely on Buddhism. So when you're talking about Buddhism, you have to make Mahachaityas and Viharas, right? So this was definitely done during Ikshvakus. Mahachaitya was renovated at Nagarjuna Konda. Mahachaitya, you see, this was already existing from Yajnashri Shatakani's period, right? He is a Shatavahana ruler. So this Mahachaitya was also renovated by the Ikshvaku time period. So apart from this, I said Buddhist and Viharas, they definitely have to be given importance, like they need to build. So where was this built? It was built in Jaggayapeta, Bhattiprolu, Chinnaganjam and other places. Where is Jaggayapeta, guys? This is in Krishna district, and Bhattiprolu is in Guntur district. You see, I told you Ikshvakus, they have ruled near the Krishna and Guntur district. So that's how you can remember that Jaggayapeta and Bhattiprolu, it was in Krishna district and Guntur district, right? So I talked about Mahachaitya also. But not only just Buddhism prevailed that time. I talked about a ruler also who was interested in the first building of Hindu temples. Who was he? It is Ahubala Santamala. So apart from Buddhism, Vedic faith also started prevailing, meaning that Shaivism and Vaishnavism also started to exist. Few also started saying that Buddha is one of the forms of Vishnu. There is one episode, guys, it is Buddha, it is available in Netflix, so please go through that series. It actually beautifully explains the Buddhism, how Buddha came into this world. So all those has been beautifully explained in those series. So you'll get a idea sort of thing. When you visualize things, you remember it much better, right? You can have that as a reference. So this Sri Parvata, this became a center for Buddhism, Shaivism and Vaishnavism, right? So Buddhism, Shaivism and Vaishnavism was in parallelly preached in Sri Parvata. Where is Sri Parvata, guys? This is in Nagarjuna Konda, right? And like I said earlier, various people in not only national level, international level people started coming, right? So you see from where all people started coming, it is Kashmir, Gandhar, China, Lata, Tosali, Vanavasas, Yavana, Dravida, Purar. And Andhra to China in the east, Kashmir in the north and Sri Lanka in the south. So from south side Sri Lanka came, from north side Kashmir and east side China people. They all have come from the international level students. So these places, all these places, we have seen the students coming and learning Buddhism, Shaivism and also Vaishnavism. So with this, what did we understand? We don't have to remember all these names, right? So all these names is not required. What we need to understand is Not only at national level, international level also Buddhism gained popularity, and also in parallel to Buddhism, Shaivism and Vaishnavism was also in vogue. Now we saw the cultural development, like Shatavahanas, the territory wise, what all they call their cities as, who was their head. So all these things we are going to look into for the Ikshvaku dynasty also. You see in next slide, this is the village, and here the entire empire was under the control of king. So the entire kingdom was divided into states, guys. So this is one state, and this state was called as Haras. In Shatavahanas, it was called as Aharas, based on the headquarter names of Amatyas. And in Shatavahanas, how is it? Aharas were under the control of governors. Governors were called as Amatyas during that time. And here, Mahadandanayakas were the governors. Mahadandanayakas are the what? They are the in charge, or they are the governors of this place. Remember I told you what does Mahadandanayaka mean? So Dand meaning what? It is a punishment. Nayak meaning one who is authorized to give the punishment. So it could be your Supreme Court sort of position, right? So here it is Mahadandanayakas. They were also called as, they were appointed as the governors of the state. So this state was called as Haras and Pathas. Guys, this is very, very important. This part is very important. What is very important is, see, Haras and Pathas. They will be asking the question like, what were the states during the time of Ikshvakus called as? So it should be Haras and Pathas. And who were the in charge of these states? So it should be Mahadandanayaka. So with this, clearly we are able to understand that they followed Shatavahana's entire social structure. Yeah, Santamula I, he is the founder of Ikshvakus, right? So Ikshvakus became the very first dynasty which emerged after Shatavahanas. Why are we saying the very first dynasty which emerged is, see, he performed yagas. Which yaga? Ashwamedha yaga, Rajsuya yaga, Vajpayee yaga. So this authority to perform the yaga you can only do when you are a great ruler or a great dynasty you call yourself as. So this Santamula I belonging to Ikshvaku dynasty became very, very famous. So he was the first state which emerged after Shatavahanas, and the higher officials during that time, they were called as Mahatalvaras, Mahasenapati, Mahadandanayakas. I told you Mahadandanayakas, they are the governors or the chief justice of India, right? So Mahasenapatis, he is the chief of the army, and Mahatalvara, they are the subordinate rulers of a king. Meaning that subordinate ruler, meaning like Ikshvakus, they used to report to Shatavahanas before they declared themselves independent. So this is nothing but Mahatalvara position. Like they were reporting, they became the subordinate king, who Ikshvakus, right? So these are the highest position of during that time, and the religion followed by Shatavahanas was Vedic faith. Why are we saying Vedic faith? Why not Buddhist faith? Because yagas and all, they are performed in Vedic faith only. That's how we say that, okay, they followed Vedic faith, and Santamula I also, they followed Vedic faith. But the sisters of Santamula, they were inclined towards Buddhism. And agriculture was also very famous during that time. And talking about the merchant side meaning it can be your goldsmith or one who gives you loans. So whatever the smiths, blacksmith people. So for all this, there has to be a head. That head is called as Kolika. So this is also very important. What is important? Kolika or Kulika is known to be the head of merchant during the Ikshvaku period. Right? You have to remember that. So Kulika or Kolika, they are head of merchant guild during the Ikshvaku time. you study this, just give a one read, and then in the exam, once you see the options, you will be able to answer these. So that's the main objective. Okay, and you see, I told you agriculture was mainly important because he gave many cows as donations, right? So with this we understood that yeah, agriculture was happening during that time. And after Santamula won, Vedic faith was nowhere visible because sisters were inclined towards Buddhism, and Buddhism started to follow. And you see, Nagarjuna Kunda had many viharas and chaityas built in there. Dhanya Kataka is again Amravati. Amravati, it has stupa, right? Which stupa? The Buddhist stupa. So this became very famous. So Buddhism was very, very famous during that time, guys, and these mainly became the education centers. Dhanya Kataka, why I am saying education center, you see, the Amravati School of Art, so that is nothing but an educational center. And Nagarjuna Konda, why I am saying it is a educational center, because of Nagarjuna Acharya. He was in the court of Yajnashri Shatakarni. So the Buddhism, he actually doctorated in that. He has obtained masters in that. So this became the main focus of the education centers during the Ikshvaku period. So after all these things, what did we understand, guys? We have seen their political conditions, cultural development, social conditions, right? So these all things you should be able to tell in the exam when you get the questions, right? So yeah, with this I'm ending my today's chapter, and the total Ikshvakus complete information I have covered in our 3 classes. So yeah, the next day, that is tomorrow, the following day, we are going to look into Abhiras. Abhiras, they are another interesting dynasty. They are not actually Indian, they are foreigners. So we are going to look into Abhiras in the tomorrow's class. And if you like my video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to my TSPSC preparation. And please share it amongst your friends so that they will also be benefited. You know, the lower class people who cannot afford much fees to the educational centers and then start learning. So this is a great platform for them, I would say. Please share them so that in some way or the other it will be benefit to them. Okay then, take care, bye bye, happy learning.